Okay, installing this block heater on this O2 Wrangler. This is the Zerostart brand freeze plug heater, and they say to install it at the 12 o'clock position at the left front. I'm going to try to install this at the left rear position at 6 o'clock, with this oriented at 6 o'clock. Like the Cat's brand says, that's where they said install theirs. So I can't get to the left front freeze plug, so I'm going to try the left rear freeze plug where the Cat's goes and see if I can get it in there. So I've already started banging on this. I'll get under here and show you what I've done so far. Hopefully this is... Okay, there goes my rod. And what I've done is I've just taken this piece of rebar and kind of put a bevel on it that's blunted so that I don't punch holes in it in the freeze plug. And then we've just run it up through here and put it right on that edge. And I'm trying to do this without pulling all the exhaust stuff off and the intake manifolds from the top, and I'm hoping I can do this without pulling anything off. And so that's why I'm making this video, because other people do this. It's pretty easy if you pull everything apart. I'm going to try to do without it though. And so I'm going to go ahead and finish punching this out. You can see right there that it's already starting to rock. The top's starting to tip in, the bottom's going to start to tip out here. There's the bottom edge, you can see right there. And so I'll go ahead and get this pounded out, and I'll continue the video. Well, that went well, swimmingly. Maybe this is why they recommend doing it from the top, so you don't get a face full of coolant and nearly wrecked the GoPro. So there it is, rotated, not fully rotated. I got to bang on a little bit more, get the lip out a little bit farther, and we'll grab that with some vice grips or some pliers and pull it out. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how it goes. Okay, got the freeze plug out. There it is, and it just took a little bit of pounding on it. I didn't have to take any parts off the Jeep yet so far. So far so good. I'll try to get the camera up in here. This is tight access, so try to get a light. There's the hole. I felt around the edge of the rim, and it feels like it's nice and smooth. I'm going to go ahead and run some plumber's sandcloth around it to make sure that there's no burrs on it, and then wipe it clean with a clean rag. And I'll do a dry insertion of the freeze plug itself and just put it in there to make sure that it fits okay. It feels like, from feeling around inside the hole, that the only way the element is going to fit is if it sticks down to the 6 o'clock position like Cat's recommends. It feels like there's stuff in the way up at the 12 o'clock and the 3 o'clock and the 9 o'clock position, so we'll just go ahead and point it down and put it in. And so what I'm going to do is take off the mounting bracket that's on the inside of the freeze plug. I'm going to just lube up the seal a little bit just so there's no friction, and slide it in, make sure it fits, and kind of wiggle it around, feel it around, make sure it's not hitting any metal, and then we'll pull it back out. And if I'm happy with that, I'll pull it back out and go ahead and put the mounting hardware back on, and then go ahead and install it. This is actually much easier than I thought it was going to be. Fortunately, I didn't have to move any parts at all, take any of this exhaust stuff off or any in the front. If I had done it on the left front like they recommended, I would have had to pull the air conditioner, which is not a big deal, but the compressor and done all this stuff before. It's not a big deal, but it's just a hassle. Here I did it without any tools, or without removing any parts from the Jeep. So it was access a little bit difficult. Getting the freeze plug out was a tiny bit of a challenge, but not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Once I got it rotated in the block, so it was sideways, I just grabbed it with a pair of pliers on one edge close to the block and pulled on it, and it popped right out. So check the edges. There were no rough edges or burrs around the outer flange or around the inner sealing surface. Lube the O-ring on the freeze plug heater itself, like they say in the directions, with some straight antifreeze, and put it in. I put it in at the 12 o'clock position. It didn't seem to hit anything. I put it in the 6 o'clock position, didn't seem to hit anything. So I went ahead and put it with the plug part facing down, as you can see, mostly because the way the plug comes out. If I put it in with it pointing upward, or with that plug part at the 12 o'clock position, the way the wiring comes out, it would have hit that part of the exhaust, and I didn't want it anywhere near the exhaust, so I rotated it down to where the plug connection on the freeze plug heater itself is down there at 6 o'clock, as you can see. So the plug will actually come out the bottom. I'm going to run it over here to this little hole I drilled right there, and we'll zip tie it there with a couple zip ties to keep it away from the heater. Okay, so cool. So when I torque this, I just tighten it by hand, just like a gentle hand tighten. I didn't tighten it. Of course, I can't get my inch-pound torque wrench in there. Even if I could, I wouldn't be able to maneuver it. So I just tighten it down just to where it's barely hand snug. And if it leaks, I'll tighten a little more. If it leaks, I'll tighten a little more. That's the way I'm looking at it. And hopefully it'll be fine, though. And so I'll go ahead and run the wire. The wire that they sent with this kit is a little short. It's of course it's made to put in up here at the front of the block, and then you can run the cord up to the front like I have my other cords. But running it back here, I'll have to splice some wiring in so that actually I can actually reach. So I'll bring it over here, we'll run it through that hole, I'll run it straight up there underneath the air compressor, probably around the steering shaft there, and just go ahead and run up to the front. I'm going to run wire loom around it to help protect it also, and hopefully this will do good. What I'd like to do in the next video, or next part of this video, is go ahead and plug it in at night, and it's getting down to like 0 Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Fahrenheit in the morning, almost every morning lately. So I'll put the non-contact laser or infrared thermometer on this, and we'll see how warm it gets the block right there. And that'll be good. This is a 600 watt heater, so it's gets pretty warm. So hopefully this will get my Jeep happy again here in the winter.